Hello there, this is BinaryOptions.com, and we are going to discuss here under the Binary Options Academy projects, we're going to discuss how to trade a specific currency pair. So far we've discussed how to trade the Australian dollar, US dollar, how to trade the Euro US dollar, the US dollar and Canadian dollar, commodities and so on. And today it is time to look at how to trade the New Zealand dollar and US dollar, another major pair. A major pair because it has the New Zealand dollar in its components. So how to trade the New Zealand dollar and US dollar pair? Well, first of all, it is moving based on economic releases or economic differences out of New Zealand and of course the United States of America. Now if you compare these two economies, you cannot compare them in size or percentage wise because they are definitely very different economies, but nevertheless are being influenced by the same factors, which are, let me take these ones from Australia as we are done with the project. And the first thing to remember is that the New Zealand dollar, it is being also called in financial jargon or language, financial language, is also being called a Kiwi. That makes that the New Zealand dollar, US dollar is also being referred to as the Kiwi pair. It will be very often that you will hear that the Kiwi pair is bullish or the Kiwi pair is bearish. Well, the Kiwi pair is the New Zealand dollar, US dollar. So make sure you remember that. If in the United States we have the Federal Reserve of the United States as the major central banks with two important mandates, we are talking about the keeping inflation below or close to 2% and creating jobs. In Australia, we have the so-called RBNZ, so RBNZ, that stands for Reserve Bank of New Zealand. Well, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand is meeting on Wednesday, every 6 weeks. And of course that we have not only a rate statement, but also we have a press conference to follow. Needless to say that, press conference. Needless to say that the New Zealand dollar pairs are moving extremely fast when the Reserve Bank of New Zealand is scheduled to release the monetary policy. Needless to say that all the crosses and so on are extremely volatile during the event. One thing to remember when you trade New Zealand dollar, US dollar, maybe you trade the forex market on the New Zealand dollar, US dollar, is that it requires very little margin. And because of that, you will live under the impression that you have a lot of margin on your account. And this leads to overtrading. Overtrading leads to bigger losses than anticipated or than expected, or a bigger risk taken only because of this deceiving New Zealand dollar, US dollar pair. Otherwise, if you trade Great Britain pound New Zealand dollar, for example, the spread is really huge there. So you might look for a broker that is offering a really tight spread. For binary option trading, also look for the distance between the actual bid and ask price. Basically, if you want to trade a call option or a pull option or a put option, to be quite small. Otherwise, you will end up being caught in that direction. I mean, some brokers, what they will do is they will lower the spread by the time that you take a trade, and by the time that the expiration date is coming, the spread is going against you. I'm talking about Great Britain pound US dollar or Australian dollar and US dollar, but nevertheless, it is important. What to keep in mind also, or more, out of New Zealand? Well, there is only one thing that moves this market. Milk prices or dairies Let me refer to that on our second part.